Good evening, Prerna. You're there. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, Prerna. So in the last session, I think we were supposed to start oversubscription of shares, if I'm not wrong, but we already started it. I'm not able to recollect. We've already started it. Okay.
Yeah.
So oh, we understood all these things: rejection, proportionate allotment, combination of both. We might have also covered these things, and we must have done a couple of questions based on it as well. I think question number 36 is also completed in the last session itself.
Yes, sir. It's homework.
Was the homework question? Question number
Yeah.
36?
Yes, sir.
Did I give any other question as the homework? Question
And
number 37 was the
37.
homework.
Yeah.
So question number 37 and 36 is done. I'm sure
Yeah.
you must have completed it.
Yes, sir. Completely.
Okay. So let's move to the next question. Question number 38. Okay. I want you to take the screenshot of it quickly. And let me read this question for you. It says Sony Media Limited issued 3,000 shares for rupees 10 each. It is payable 3 rupees on application for an allotment and balance on person. Application was received for rupees 1 lakh. Application were received for 1 lakh shares and allotment was made as follows. So we have three different situations here. Okay, no. Yeah. So it says allotment was made out as follows. Applicant of 60,000 shares were allotted 30,000 shares, and applicants of 40,000 shares were allotted 20,000 shares. Anupam, to whom 1,000 shares were allotted from category first, failed to pay the allotment money. We need to pass the journal entries up to allotment only. Okay, so I hope this question is clear to you. Question simply says that there is a company, Sony Media Limited, which have issued 50,000 shares and instead it received application for 1 lakh shares. And company have decided to allot shares to all the applicants, but since company have decided to issue 50,000 shares, so all the applicants will be allotted share on proportionate basis. So initial application of 60,000, initial application of 60,000 shares from the investor have been allotted 30,000 shares, and investors later the application that company have received in 40,000 shares, in respect of those company have decided to allot 20,000 shares. And now there was one shareholder who have applied for 1,000 shares, which were allotted to there were 1,000 shares which were allotted to Anupam, and he have applied under the category first, later failed to pay the allotment. And considering all these situations, we need to pass the journal entry. All right, so I'm sure the question is clear to you. Brenda, is there anything I need to explain it again to you?
No, sir.
No. So let's start with the solution to question number 30. So first of all, applications we have received for initial 60,000 shares, and we have decided to allot 30,000 shares in respect of 60,000 shares for which investors have actually applied for. And then those applicants who have applied for 40,000 shares, we have decided to issue 20,000 shares to them. The total of 50,000 shares will be issued. issued 3,000 shares, and company have actually received application for 1 lakh shares. And company have decided to raise the entire amount in how many installment? In I guess 4 installment, right? 3 installment, yeah, 3 rupees on application, and 4 rupees will be on allotment, and balance on post and final call. That means 3 rupees on post and final call. Total face value will be 10 rupees. All right, and now it says that there was one shareholder, Anupam, whom how many shares were allotted? 1,000 shares were allotted. Let me instead write this as allotment. So there was one shareholder who have been allotted 1,000 shares. Failed to pay the allotment money, right? So he must have paid the application. He failed to pay the allotment money. Allotment money is not paid by. Anyways, the question is silent about the number of application for the number of shares he have applied for the company. It says company have allotted 1,000 shares, but how many shares for he have applied for, it is not given in the question. All right, but see, it is given in the question that he have applied under the category first. He have applied under the category 1. It is written in the question now, Anupam, to whom 1,000 shares were allotted from category 1. So that means he must have allotted 1,000 shares. So that means he must have applied for how many shares? This is category 1. Category first application were given 30,000 shares in respect of 60,000 shares. And category 2 applicants were given 20,000 shares for 40,000 shares. So that if he was under the category 1 and if he was allotted 1,000 shares, that means he must have applied for how many shares? He must have applied for 2,000 shares. Is that right? Are you able to understand it? Prerna, did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyways, let me explain it again. See, if you want to figure out the amount of application he have applied for, what we'll do, we'll simply apply this formula. We want to find out the number of shares he has applied for. So what we'll do, we'll simply application received divided by allotted shares into number of share issued to Anupam. This formula is going to be very, very important. If you want to figure out the number of share which has been issued, to Anupam, in that case, we'll simply divide the number of applications received divided by the allotment of share and multiply it with the number of share issued or number of shares allotted. We will just multiply it with the number of shares allotted to Anupam. All right. So now applying this formula, we will calculate if total allotment was made under category 1 was 30,000. Oh, I think I've written the formula wrong. Just a minute. We'll be taking the value of the allotment. Yes, okay, that is right. 60,000 divided by 30,000 into 1,000 shares were allotted to Anupam. 60 divided by 30 into 1,000 will get 1,000 shares. So this is the number of shares applied by Anupam. Number of shares applied by Anupam. Calculate that, you will apply the form. All right, everyone. I hope you get this. Prerna, is it clear to you? So why it is useful to figure out the value of the number of shares applied by Anupam? See, this will be useful while calculating the amount of allotment. We'll talk about this later, but just tell me if this is clear to you or not. If this calculation is clear to you, Prerna, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's one very simple method to remember this. If you ever wanted to find out the number of shares applied by any investor, any shareholder, in that case, you will apply this formula. Applications received or number of shares application have been applied for divided by the allotment. You will always put the application received in the numerator and divided by the allotment of shares, and then multiplied with the number of shares allotted. This way, you will get the number of shares applied by the particular investor. Okay, anyways, let's move to the next point. Now let's talk about the journal entry. Because this question requires us to pass the journal entry. Na? Journal entry. The first entry will be for the issue of the receipt of application amount on application. What is the entry for the receipt of application amount? It will be bank account debit to, tell me, share application
Account.
Right? So how many, in respect of how many shares we have received the application for? We received the application in respect of 1 lakh shares, and amount of application was 3 rupees per share. So 1 lakh into 3 will be 3 lakh. Right? Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Then after that, we'll write down the entry for the transfer of application amount to share capital. And for that, entry will be share application account debit. Lakh to tell me, to share capital.
Capital account. To
But-
share allotment account.
Yes. To share allotment. Excess amount will be transferred to the allotment. It will be adjusted toward the allotment. So only in respect of 60,000 shares, only in respect of 50,000 shares, we can transfer to the share capital, and the remaining amount need to be adjusted toward the allotment. So 50 into 3, that is 1,50,000. And remaining 1,50,000 will be adjusted toward the share allotment. I hope this is clear. Now we'll move to the next entry. You need to remember this, that 1,50,000 has already been received in relation to allotment. So while passing the entry for the allotment, you will have to keep this thing in mind that we have already received 1,50,000 at the time of application in respect of the allotment. Now we'll pass the entry for the allotment on allotment. First of all, we'll make the entry for making the allotment due, which is, tell me, what will be the entry for that? It will be
Share allotment account debit to share capital account.
yes. So share allotment account debit to share capital. Right, and share allotment will be made due for in respect of only 50,000 shares, right? 50,000 into 4, that will
4.
be 2 lakh. Right now, Prerna?
Yes, sir.
This is to make the allotment. Now we have to pass the entry for making for the receipt of allotment money. That will be bank account debit to share allotment account. Okay. Now this is very important to understand. Total of 2 lakh is to be collected on allotment. But out of this, we have already received 1,50,000 at the time of application only. Right? You remember that? This is 50,000 that has to be adjusted for the allotment. Got it? Is
Yes,
that
sir.
clear? Okay. And one more thing, there is one investor who did not pay in respect of the 1,000 shares. We'll have to adjust that as well. So basically we need to debit the bank account after subtracting the amount that we have already received at the time of application, that we already subtracted 1,50,000, and we have to subtract the amount that Anupam is not going to pay because he have defaulted in the payment of allotment. And after subtracting that value, whatever the value that we'll get, we will write that here. And with the same amount, share allotment account needs to be credited. All right. But what amount I should write it here? For that purpose, we'll have to prepare an extra working note. You understand that? So let's do that. Let's make a working note. Prerna, everything clear till this point?
Yes, sir.
So let's make a working note. Number of shares, firstly, number of shares applied by Anupam. Anupam have applied for 2,000 shares. We have already did the calculation for it, right? And number of shares allotted to Anupam, 1,000, right? Now see, once he have applied for, I want you to note everything, whatever I'm writing on the page. So if he have applied for 2,000 shares, so he must have paid application amount in respect to 2,000 shares, right? So application amount paid by Anupam. How much he must have paid? He must have paid as per 2,000 shares, since he have applied for 2,000 shares. Huh? He must have paid at 3 per share, right? So he have already paid 6,000 rupees in respect of 2,000 shares. Is that clear? Is it? Am I
Yes.
doing it right? Yeah. Okay. And one more thing. Okay. And application paid by Anupam is 6,000. And what is the how much application amount he was actually supposed to pay? Amount due on application. Application amount actually due on Anupam was, Anupam should have actually paid in respect of only 1,000 shares. 1,000 into 3, he should have actually paid, right? But he have paid access amount. So access amount paid by Anupam. How much extra he have paid? He paid 3,000 extra. This will be adjusted in the adjusted toward the amount of allotment due. All right. Now, when it comes to allotment, this was application, right? Now it comes to allotment. Allotment money due on Anupam. Allotment money due on Anupam. How much allotment money was due on on Anupam? So it will be basically in respect of 1,000 shares. He need to pay 4 per share. So he should actually pay 4,000. Right? Is that clear? And excess amount paid at the time of allotment. Along with the application, he have already paid extra amount of rupees 3,000 that we need to adjust now. And remaining amount is to be paid by Anupam, which he have defaulted in the payment. So amount not paid by Anupam. How much is not paid by Anupam? 3,000 he has paid it. 1,000 is still in pending. Got it, everyone? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Have you written this down? Hmm. You're still writing it?
Yes, sir.
Quickly.
Done, sir.
So this is the amount which is not paid by Anupam. We need to subtract this amount at the time of passing the entry for the not. So Anupam's amount we subtracted as well. What was it? Was 1,000. And remaining amount will be written here, which is 2 lakh minus 150 is 50,000 minus 1,000 is 49. Done? Got it? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Shall we move to the next question? This question requires us to pass the entry till the allotment only. So we won't be moving forward to pass on any other entry. That is the allotment of entry for the first and final call is not required in the question. So we won't be doing it. Anna, Anna, shall we move to the next question?
Yes, sir.
Mm, okay. We have another question, question number 39, based on the similar concept. So do you want to give it a try? Anna?
Yes.
Just give it a try. If you are not able to solve it, I'll be helping you. This question is a little difficult as compared to the previous question, but I still want you to try. Oh, okay. Let me solve this question for you because this is a little difficult and I think you'll be able to do it. Let me help you with this question a little. It says Sugandha Limited issued 60,000 shares of 10 each at a premium of 2 per share payable at 3 on application, 5 including premium on allotment and the balance on first and final call. Application received for 92,000 shares. Director resolved to allot as 40,000 in respect to 40,000 applicant application. 30,000 shares will be allotted. Application for 50,000 shares will be allotted 30,000 shares. And remaining applications will be rejected. Mohan, who had applied for 800 shares in category 1, and Mohan, who was allotted 600 shares in category 1, failed to. Category 2 failed to pay the allotment money, calculate the amount received from allotment. Okay. So let me show you how can we. First of all, let me summarize everything. Says, first of all, how much applications we have received. We received application in respect of 92,000 shares, and this is how we have decided to make the allotment in respect of those shares. For 40,000 applications, we have decided to allot 30,000 shares. right? And applicants who have applied for 50,000 shares have got 30,000 shares as well. And 2,000 applicants were not given any share. That means they will be rejected. The shares will be, their applications will be rejected. A total of 60,000 shares, in respect of 60,000 shares allotment will be made, but out of 92,000 shares that people have applied for. Okay. And company have decided to raise the entire amount by way of application. All right, two per share on application. This one, 3 per share on application. On allotment, company will be raising 5, including 2 rupees for premium. And balance remaining amount will be on first and final call. First and final call will be of 4 rupees. This is how it will be 10 plus. Got it, Prerna? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now it says that there was one investor, Mohan. Mohan have actually applied for 800 shares in category 1. They've applied for 800 shares in category 1. This was category 1. This is category 2. So it's category. Okay. So number of shares for which he have applied for is given in the question. We need to figure out the allotment weight. All right. So to figure out the allotment, what we'll do, we'll simply apply this formula. Since we want to find out the allotment, so what we'll do, we'll simply put the allotment made on the numerator. Allotment made divided by application received into number of shares applied. By Mohan. By applying this formula, we'll be able to get the total allotment made to Mohan. So let's apply the formula and find out the allotment made to Mohan. In category 1, 30,000 shares were allotted, as you can see in the question, for 40,000 applications. And we'll multiply this with 800, and we will be getting the total amount of total shares allotted. So this will be calculated like 30,000 divided by 40,000 into 800. We'll get 600. So 600 is the total shares allotted to Mohan. All right. And similarly, question says that there was one more investor, Sohan, who was allotted 600 shares in category 2. Sohan was allotted how many shares? 800 shares. But for how many shares he have actually applied for is not given in the question. So what we'll do, we'll apply the formula. But this time, since we wanted to find out the number of shares he have applied for, so we'll put the application received in the numerator. And total application received divided by allotment made in category 2, multiplied the number of shares allotted to number of shares allotted to. Applying this formula, we'll be able to get the number of shares applied by Sohan. We'll get application in category 2 was received for 50,000 shares. And allotment was made to 30,000 shares. Multiplying it with the number of shares allotted to him, 800, will be getting equals to 50 divided by 30 into 800. Just a minute, I think I'm making some mistake. Just a minute.
Sir, Sohan was allotted for 600 shares.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. Sohan was allotted 600. No? But I'm thinking of why am I getting the wrong answer, 600. And we should also be 600. Now I think I'll get the right answer. That will be 50,000 divided by 30,000 into 600. 1,000 is the correct answer, I guess. Right? Okay. So now we can pass the entries. Understood, Karina? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Let's start with the journal entries. First of all, we'll pass the entry for the application. On application, journal entry will be bank account debit to share application account. And since we have received application for 92,000 shares, an amount of application was 3 per application. So we will be getting the amount equal to, this will be 2,76,000. Right? And then pass another entry, transfer the application to share capital. That will be share application account debit to share capital to share allotment. Right? This will be debited by 2,76,000. But share capital account can only be credited by 1,80,000. That is 60,000 into 3. Right? And the remaining amount will be adjusted toward the allotment. But we have to return some amount as well, right? Because certain applicants were not allotted any shares. You remember that? 2,000 applicants were rejected. We need to credit the bank account as well by 6,000. Got it, Prerna? Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Then second entry will be for the allotment. First of all, we'll make the allotment due, which is it will be share allotment account debit to share capital, right? And to security premium reserve security premium account. Allotment will be made due for in respect of 60,000 shares at the rate 5 each, including premium. So that will be 3 lakh. 60,000 into 3 will be for share capital, which is 1,80,000, and the remaining amount will be towards the security premium. All right, is it clear, Prerna?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then finally we'll have to pass another entry for the receipt of application amount. Bank account will be debited to share allotment. And yeah, one more thing. We have debit the calls in area account as well. We want to do this in the previous question. Calls in areas account need to be debited in respect of those shares for which we are not going to receive the allotment amount. We will be debiting calls in areas account. Like you can do this for the previous question as well. I just forgot to do that in the previous case. Here, apart from the share allotment account, we can debit the calls in areas account. Yeah, it should be 50,000 instead of 49,000. Got it? This is how we will do it. Is that clear to you? This is one.
Yes,
This
sir.
is this clear? This is for the previous question. Anyways, moving on to the current question. This question, bank account debit, calls in area account debit to share allotment. But tell me, how much amount is due on respect of allotment? Total of 3 lakh is due, but out of 3 lakh we have already received some amount. We've already received 90,000 at the time of application only, so we'll subtract that 90,000. And then there are some value which is not paid by Mohan and Suhan. We need to subtract that as well, right now. And whatever the value that you got it here, you have to debit the same value in the login area account as well. Tell me, Pinda, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, do you think you'll be able to figure out the value that need to be debited to bank account? Shall I give you 6 minutes try this on your own? What do you think you'll be able to do it or not? Okay, just
I
one. Let me. Sorry, Pinda,
wanna give a try.
gonna give it a try. Okay. So in that case, I'll have to wait for a few minutes. Okay, just give it a try. I'm waiting for you to finish, and then I'll show you the correct answer. You're doing it now, Prerna?
Yes, sir.
Doing Prerna? You're still
No.
doing it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have we got the outstanding amount of Mohan retreats? Have we got the amount which is due on Mohan in respect of the allotment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's just, okay. Can you please tell me the value?
Um,
Allotment amount which is not paid by Mohan. Tell me now, you have calculated the value or not? Prerna, unmute
12.
yourself and 1200. No, 1200 is not the right answer. See, this is the correct answer of this question. Let me explain it. Number of shares applied by Mohan was how much? Was 800, right? Number of shares allotted to him was 600, right? You understand that? Then he must have paid application money on 800 share at the rate of 3 each. That is 2400 has already been paid by him. But actually, amount that he should have paid on application is 600 into 3. That is 1800 he needed to pay only. But he paid 600 extra. He paid excess amount on application, which will be adjusted toward the allotment. Do you understand to this point? Excess application received 600. That is that there? Excess amount received on application from Mohan is 600. Do you understand until this point?
Yes, sir.
Then what is the amount due on allotment? Allotment was due at 5 rupees per share. So 600 into 5 means 3000 is due in respect of allotment, on which he have already paid excess amount of 600 at the time of application that we need to subtract. So out of 3000, we'll subtract 600. So the amount which should have been paid by Mohan, 2800, in respect of which he have defaulted. So 2800 is the outstanding amount that we need to subtract. Got it? Is that clear? This is only in respect of Mohan. We need to calculate the Sohan's as well. But please confirm if you understood this or not. Quickly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can take a screenshot of the solution. And now moving on to the Sohan. In respect of Sohan as well, application money paid by Sohan in respect of 1000 shares, and 1000 into 3, 3000. But the amount of application accurate due was 600 into 3. That is only 1800 he had to pay, but he paid 3000. That means he paid access application of rupees 1200. Correct? And now this excess 1200 will be adjusted toward the allotment. For that, we'll have to figure out the allotment money due on Sohan. For that, we'll multiply 600 into 5, we'll get 3000. In respect of, in context of allotment, he have already paid 1200 extra at the time of application that we need to subtract. Out of 3000, we'll subtract 1200. And 1800 will be the balancing value that will be considered as the allotment money, which is not paid by Sohan. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All you need to do is subtract these value from the main working note. This is the main calculation. Bank account debit 3 lakh minus 2400 minus 1800 and minus 90,000 that has already been paid at the time of application. So the bank account will be debited by 2 lakh 5800 and calls in area will be debited by 4200. Adding the Mohan and Sohan's outstanding values that they did not pay on allotment. And share allotment will be credited by lakh. This is 10,000. Is that clear? Any doubts? Trainer, do you have any doubt?
No, sir, it's clear.
Clear, na? Okay, so this was all about question number 39. I'm giving you one similar question for the homework as well. Kindly take the screenshot. Question number 40 will be a homework. If you understood question number 39, I guess you'll be able to solve question number 40 as well. And apart from question number 40, I'll be giving you one more question for the homework. Just confirm if you are done with the screenshot of question number 40.
Done.
I have one more question for you, which is question number 41. Both the questions are similar. You might have some difficulty solving these questions, but we'll discuss the problem that you faced in these questions in the next session. Done? In
Done,
case of
sir.
question number 41, see, in case of question number 41, the question is asking you to prepare the cash book as well. But for now, just ignore that part, right? Just pass the journal entry without preparing the cash. As you already know, whenever question asks you to prepare the cash book, you need not to pass any entry for the receipt of any installment. Like all the bank and